Senzo Mchunu's Chief of Staff, Cedrick Nkabinde, will appear before Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating allegations of corruption and interference in the criminal justice system. Nkabinde is accused of working with the suspended police minister to disband the political killings task team. Zoleka Qodashe joins us now live from Parliament. Zoleka, good morning. This is going to be really interesting testimony because we're expecting to see how he can stitch together Senzo Mchunu, the allegations that one Brown Mokhotsi made about knowledge of certain things that were beyond his purview, and the minister, and Cedrick Nkabinde's name having come up in that connection as well. We know that he also endured a raid earlier or in recent weeks on his property to ascertain the truth of events. So just tell us a bit more about how important this testimony is this morning.
That's correct, Iman. Good morning. And we're expecting that amongst several other issues will be top of the agenda as Cedrick Nkabinde, the Chief of Staff for Minister Senzo Mchunu, takes to the hot seat before Parliament's ad hoc committee. We're expecting that another issue that will take centre stage is that of security clearance in relation to his role as Chief of Staff in the office of the minister. You remember that was another question that was posed to him, to Senzo Mchunu, when he appeared before Parliament's ad hoc committee in October. And so we expect that will be another question that will be put to the Chief of Staff. Not only that, we also expect that there will be questions around his qualifications as well as the role that he played in the disbandment of the political killings task team. You remember that when that directive came on the 31st of December 2024, he had told the top cop in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, Qodashe, that essentially the minister was under pressure to make such a decision, and also said that essentially there were the minister was very close to controversial Northwest businessman Brown Mokhotsi. So we're expecting that as well as several other factors will come to the fore. The raid on his property, in which he said that he feared for his life as well. We also expect that alleged threat that is said to have come from Qodashe to the minister in that recorded telephonic conversation will also be thrust to the fore when Cedrick Nkabinde faces questions, first from Chief Evidence Leader, Advocate Norman Arnsam, and then facing questions from the lawmakers when they get their chance to probe the Chief of Staff and also seek clarity on some of the allegations that have been made against him. But as you mentioned, his name pops up several times in testimonies that were made by or submitted by Qodashe. In fact, on the 7th and 8th of October this year, when Qodashe appeared before Parliament's ad hoc committee, he also spoke of a meeting that was facilitated by Cedrick Nkabinde for himself as well as the minister before the minister actually assumed that position of Minister of Police. We also expect that his role in IPID before he was unemployed will also take center stage. So we're expecting that there will be that kind of tracing of his life and also service within the police as well as in IPID before he became Chief of Staff, and whether he was adequately equipped or had the qualifications to assume such a role will also take center stage. I just want us, Iman, to listen to those allegations that were made by Qodashe in relation to that letter for the disbandment of the PKT team that came on the 31st of December, and that Qodashe said he only became aware of on the 2nd of January this year.
My initial response from the time I saw the letter was just shocked and surprised that how can he write such a serious letter that is going to have so much implications in the organization. And more concern is that I had already met the minister, and I wouldn't want the executive authority to do things that is against the law, and so I have a responsibility to bring to his attention. But at the time, I felt it is important to use a shortcut because I got to meet the minister before he became the Minister of Police through Mr. Nkabinde. I know Mr. Nkabinde is the office of the minister. He had asked me what Chief of Staff does. So upon seeing this letter, he was the first person I called, because I believe that there cannot be any document going to the minister for signature without his knowledge. So I called him. I said, Kabinde, the minister signed a letter that says the following. Are you aware of this letter? And his response was, yes, I am aware of the letter. But according to him, the letter was going back and forth by whoever between the minister, whoever was drafting the letter and the minister. That made me believe that the minister is not the author. Someone else prepared this letter for the minister, and the minister signed it.
So, Iman, we're expecting that this will also be an issue that will be tackled by the chief evidence leader. We're also expecting that that alleged threat will also be expected, Cedrick Nkabinde will also be expected to elaborate on the alleged threat. You'll remember that when Senzo Mchunu appeared before Parliament's inquisitorial body, he had said that the threat was in reference and actually apologized to members of Parliament for alluding to the fact that there was a threat in the recording that he had made available to the fact-finding body. So we're expecting that this and much more will be ventilated when Cedrick Nkabinde takes to the hot seat before Parliament's ad hoc committee. Those sittings are expected to take place at 9 a.m. Iman.
And judging by the MP's performance, Zoleka, those seats certainly have been hot for the last couple of people that were interviewed and giving evidence in the ad hoc committee. So we'll continue to watch that one throughout the course of the day. Thank you, Zoleka Qodashe, down in Cape Town.